Mi gente, ¿cómo está? Espero que esté bien y toda esta mierda. Yo estoy muy bien, estoy activado al mismo tiempo. Estoy muy cansado. Estoy agotado. Es porque yo no dormí lo suficiente. Pero no voy a quejarme porque tú sabes que me gusta mi trabajo y me gusta grabar videos para ti. Hay otro carro que tengo aquí y tiene la luz del motor. Tengo los códigos para ti y voy a ponerlo en la descripción para ti o el escrito o como se llama. A mí no me importa. Bueno, el motor no está funcionando muy bien. Bueno, puede arrancarse sin problema y puede mantenerse sin problema también, pero es como el motor es un poco duro, un poco en la forma que está. It's just the way it idles, just like a little funny, it's like a little rough, un poco duro, no me gusta. Y tiene un poco de los códigos por, ¿cómo se llama? El sensor de oxígeno o algo así, oxygen sensor. Y había algún tipo de fuga que se pasó por otro lugar que it got inside of the goddamn sensor basically y por eso yo compré otro sensor y vamos a cambiarlo y tengo ¿cómo se llama? Las instrucciones para ti y me parece que estoy hablando mucho y por eso voy a seguir adelante con el trabajo. El carro es 2012 2012 Jeep Cherokee SRT8 6.4 y voy a enseñarte cómo cambiar el sensor en varios minutos sin unas herramientas, sin problema, ¿sí? Y probablemente tú necesitarás 2 herramientas, no sé, pero vamos a empezar ahora. So the codes I'm going to focus on are there's a bunch of codes, but I believe there's previous codes because my cousin, this is his car, he did change some things. So one of the things I'm going to just read out loud. So we got P0300, then he got the P1004 short runner valve performance, whatever, the intake runner inside the valve or the intake manifold. I apologize. Then we got a P0151. We're going to key on that code. We also have, that code specifies for like a low circuit for bank 2 sensor 1. So we have an upstream sensor because this is bank 1 as noted from, I guess when you get your online, you go up, look at the fire and order which bank is what. This is said to be bank 1 and that's said to be bank 2 over there. So we have low circuit. Then we have ignition coil code, secondary circuit codes for cylinder coil pack 3, 6, and 2, but my cousin replaced all 8 coil packs, so it probably just never cleared the light. And click back on here. We also have another intake manifold runner position circuit low code, but I feel like with those type of codes that can be a result of that valve probably flapping around, not probably performing right, because we got like a vacuum leak or an O2 sensor. We also have a P0174 bank 2 bank 2 sensor 1 lean, P0175 bank 2 sensor 1 rich, so it seems like it doesn't know if it's rich, it doesn't know if it run leaning out or whatever. And then we also have the as a downstream fuel trim is indicated. Pardon. It's said to be rich on that code, so only codes I'm going to be focusing on is the O2 sensor codes. Why? Because I did pull the O2 sensor off and I get it for you in a second. It looked to be like we had oil migration from a previous oil leak and it traveled into the sensor. That's what it looked like because the connector was wet and the O2 sensor was wet at the tip where the wires go inside of the sensor. It's the body of the sensor itself. So what I'm going to do is basically show you guys how to replace the sensor. It's simple. It's nothing too crazy. The only thing is it's pretty tight and the space to get down in there. So what tools you'll be needing is an O2 sensor socket. I can show you that in a second, which one I am referring to. You can get the long one, you can get the deep one. I had went ahead and used this long one, this OEM one, like 7/8. I got this from AutoZone, and I don't even know how much I spent, probably less than 10 bucks for it. Serves me good. You'll be able to get down in there real good. What also helped with me is I had a 3-inch extension, a 3/8 adapter size or whatever. That's what you got, a U3H drive. I apologize. So once I had used that BAM, I was able to finesse it off. And I also had my long breaker bar that I used. I'm sorry, my long ratchet that I got from Snap-on. This guy's pretty long. This flex head, it locks in position. How I got in it. See how the bar was sticking up just like this? Well, because I had a 3-inch extensions, and y'all be sleeping on Harbor Freights. Harbor Freight got like that wobble extension. If I can show you what a wobble extension, these people be sleeping on these. They is sloppy when you're trying to get certain bolts on it. You don't want them to move, but realistically, it's got like a half swivel to it where it just wobble on it a little bit, and you'll be able to finesse it and do whatever. Because I had a shorter one, half the size of this, because this is a 6-inch. I had a 3-inch one, and that seemed to, no problem. I don't, what are we complaining about, right? So next, let's get this O2 sensor in. Real quick, I'm gonna go over the O2 sensor. The one I selected was the part number, the Bosch brand from AutoZone. So if I can get in there real good for you, I apologize. Part number 15510, and like I said, that's the Bosch brand. I got that from AutoZone for like 38 bucks and some change. So let's get that bad boy in there, and I'm pretty much all set up to get installed. I got the GoPro set up for you, so let's install it. Now this right here is my tool setup. As you can see, I got the O2 sensor socket. They do have another one, which is a shorter version. We're not going to display that one. It's not important. We're going to use the deep one, because in this situation, that's what I need. So when we get to an O2 sensor video where I need to use the short one, I'll use it. And if you've been following me for a long time, you've already seen me use the short one for a long time. We're going about this one, the deep one. That's important. We got a slit in it. Why? Because we can get the wire through. And then I have my wobble 3-inch extension I was explaining earlier, I guess like a minute ago. I don't even remember at this point because I've been running my mouth. So let's get the tool on there first, and then we'll put the extension on there. So let's separate it. So this is the tool I'm going to be using. I thought I was going to get away with using the deep one, which I can't use this one right here. Why? Because the O2 sensor come up too far. So in this case, the short guy will work when we have a nice slit in it. And let's get that bad boy on there. Then I'll be using my extension, the one I was telling you about, 3/8, and set that right on there just like that, and you already know what to do. GoPro action. Sorry for the shadow. But if we're looking down in there, you see where I got that that silver guide that look like you can unscrew it off, like a plug for the O2 bung. That's what it would be. So I just got that plugged in there because I already went ahead and removed the O2 sensor. So we'll be in this area. So this will be bank 2, sensor 1. And then if we go around on the side, you see that yellow guy in the center of a black connector. See how it's wet on the outside or whatever? We had like a lot of oil migrating down the wires, probably inside or something like that. It was wet, a little bit of wet on the inside, but I'm going to get that cleaned up real good and going to install the O2 sensor. But I will at least tell you guys how to tighten it, right? So that way you can see how you would be able to get it out. I'm sorry for all the like popping noises if I had hit the side of this frame right here, or shock tower, sorry, but I got the GoPro. So let me get set up for you. I'm going to undo the O2 sensor bung, and I know you probably won't be able to see me do it, but an idea is an idea. What's an idea without using your imagination, right? So let's get the O2 sensor in. What's unique about this O2 sensor, I'll try to point my camera at the sensor. If you guys are not seeing it, I apologize, because I have my head mount. It's already lubed up with anti-seize on it already, so the only thing you really got to do is just install it. So if you want to chase the threads, they do have a chaser for it you can buy from AutoZone. I do have it. I don't even remember where my chaser is. Somewhere in my box. I gotta look for it, but in this case it's not important for me. So I got the head in there already, so I'm going to just thread it down now. Sometimes because the threads is kind of oversized, it is kind of hard to get the thread started, so that's why it's just best to wiggle it on there as you're screwing at the same time. But sometimes you gotta move it around until you feel that
it dropped in a place for a little bit, or you could feel the grooves catching, and then it'll start threading. Now, because these threads are like new, I imagine I need to use the socket. Let's show you. Let's get them on. Put it through the slit. I mean the wire through the slit. Sometimes you might gotta start from the top and then drop it on there. You should be able to turn it by hand just enough. I want to keep clocking it enough so that way when I get my tool in there, I only just need to snug it. So having this tool on there just gives me more strength to try to clock it down. So I'm at the part where I need my 3-inch wobble extension. Get that on there. We drop down, and now all I need is a ratchet. So I'm going to select a 3/8 flex head.
So I ended up using a longer extension. Had the 3-inch one, and I had the 6-inch, which put me at 9 inches. That's what I need to get this out, so that worked. I want to put this guy back in my box. I like to keep it there. I got multiple tools. I always keep like extra tools from when I work a day job and when I do my own stuff here. But let's get it close. I can't even tell. Let's get the codes cleared and start it up. All right, so I went and cleared the codes. You gotta clear them and give it like a few minutes after you start it back up again, because you'll get some codes from, you know, previously that won't go away. Why? Because you need to let the memory kill itself basically after you clear. So I'm gonna get this dipstick too back, or dipstick back in here. It was in my way when I was like leaning over, and I didn't want to break the tip, so I took it off. So let's get it started up. And I did start it up. It seemed to idle cool. I cleared the codes. I'm gonna do it for you for general purposes. Sensor works. Now that we're talking about the connector, so there's an obvious difference in between the connector, if I can like dwell on it for you, that the design of it, you see the slots in the connector may be a lot bigger on the replacement. Don't worry about that. And the length wire might be longer on the new one. Don't worry about that. Why? Because it's probably like the way they made it. And then the tip up here is made different. You see how they got little holes around it going in there like a little mesh grill? Well, they made it differently on it. All in all, the sensor works is what I'm saying. It's just designed a little bit different. So as you can see, like the oil migration all around it, going inside and everything. And I don't know if I need to key in on this for you so you can see better. Maybe it's not important. Maybe it is. So 2012 Jeep SRT8 6.4 engine. We did the bank 2 sensor 1 O2 sensor. You guys got any questions, comments, concerns, whatever? You don't like the video, you know what the hell you could do. Put that goddamn all that shit below. Y'all want to see me be annoying? Follow me on Instagram. I'm always going to be dropping content. I got myself back in motion. Family squared away. You know, a brother feeling good for a change, so I want to keep this going. And I'm inspired. I'm gonna put some more content for y'all, so let's get it. Engine idling good.